I feel the depth in your cries, the glimmer deep inside your soul shall lay waste to the darkened skies. You will never be forgotten. All that is needed is your call. Always I will listen for you. I hear your voices behind the wall. Damn this wall, but I hear your call. I will find my way through. They will stall, try to make me fall, but I will find the truth for you. Forever I wander seeking truth, crushed by all your fear and pain. I'll walk through hell to bring you heaven. Your circumstance shall not be in vain. No matter the time or toll it takes, no matter if I'm all hope seems lost, always I will listen for you. I hear your voices behind the wall. Damn this wall, but I hear your call. I will find my way through. They will stall, try to make me fall, but I will find the truth for you. Damn this wall. Damn this wall, but I hear your call. I hear your voices behind the wall.
That is nice.
That is nice. I love that.
We've got Mary joining tonight. She'll be here just when she can. So
All right. Very good.
how's the sound for everyone? It's loud, and I know Ryan said it was loud last time too. Let's see here.
I mean, I didn't think it was too loud,
Maybe if I do
if that's what
that.
you're asking.
Wonder if that's helpful. No, not too loud is good. Okay. Yeah, Mark did good. He did the lyrics and the AI there. I can't wait for him to sing it. It's gonna be so badass.
Yep.
So we've had a lot of calls. Tonight's theory, tomorrow night's theory. We're gonna go down this. Sounds good tonight. Thank you. First of all, I know people were upset with me for not paying attention to the chat the last two shows. Catch me a break. I'm actually relearning StreamYard as we go, but I was gone for a good 3 months before I came back, y'all. So let me get there. We'll get there. But thank you, mods. Ryan, Patty, Karen, Lips, Eve.
I was
Dodie.
trying to catch them for you as best I could, but I didn't want to interrupt you either when you were talking.
Sissy, Dukes. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. So as you guys know, I ended the 2025 year with the last 90 days or so, and even into January, she was in my comments. A lot of you guys were asking me back then because if you know, you know, if you were in the live shows a while back, you saw she was a mod for me and she was all up in the chats. I mean, she even was about to come up on panel. But she was in the chats anyway, and people were coming to me privately like, what the hell is going on here? And I was like, kind of like, well, what, you know? And I didn't say much. So people were kind of wondering and whispering, whatever. But yeah, we were talking very heavily for the end of 2025. I'd say from September into January, we were talking pretty frequently. But once she went back with Dawn, she ended up just like in comments here and there and stuff. And she wasn't going to call me anymore when she was around Dawn because Lips as my witness, Mark as my witness. The deal I made with Candace is that I was going to be video recording everything that Dawn was around. So if she was to call me with Dawn, I'm video recording it. And that's a deal that Candace made. So I was like, so don't call me around Dawn unless you want me. I'm going to take that as you're telling me you want me to record. And she said, deal. Did she not, Lips? She was like, deal. So in that, she was really wanting me on Tim and Dawn's ass. Again, weird because she said I was the biggest thorn to ever come around their marriage. So for her to choose me and ask this of me is kind of weird. And either to fuck with me, I don't know. But it's an option. I'm not blind to that. Like I said, she had fucked with White Boy and Noel so badly, like really badly. What they did is really what she did to Matt and Noel, like them or love them. Okay, even if you're their biggest hater, what happened to them and what she did to them was just plain wrong. You don't text from a dead person's phone and pretend to be them and let someone think that you're still fighting with them or whatever. Meanwhile, this person's dead, and like you just don't do that. And you especially don't do that with a married couple that knows they have struggles and is trying to like turn their lives around and work really hard on recovery. You don't do something like that to anybody, like them or don't like them, you know, because we sure as shit have not been on good terms. And you've heard the way Matt talks about me, but even he doesn't deserve that kind of fuckery. That's just crazy. So in this, I'm being told, you know, Candace wants me on Dawn and Tim. She's innocent. She wouldn't let anything happen to her kids. She would do anything. She would lay her life down, just like Dawn said, for her kids. And I'm like, well, let's prove this, Candace, you know, because I haven't seen that personally. And then now the reason why I'm like, okay, let's go down this rabbit hole is because, as most of you guys know, Dawn would a lot of times call me. I hear an echo. Sis, do you mind muting for a minute so I can see where it's coming from?
Sure.
Okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, she wants me on Dawn and Tim's ass, whatever. So she's innocent. We're going to go down this because Dawn would, I think, sis, can you check if you have anything open? Because I'm not hearing the echo now. Is anybody else hear it, or is it just me? Do you have YouTube open by chance, or another?
No, I don't have anything open.
Okay.
I try to make sure
I don't hear it now. Well, we'll just deal with it. So,
yeah.
or if you just want to mute when I talk and then unmute.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah.
Put in, or what do you guys hear? You hear it? Okay, but do you hear it now? Because Tammie's muted. Do you still hear an echo? Because next I'm going to have Tammie on mute, and then I'm going to mute, and we'll see what's going on here. Because that does annoy me. I said, even I don't like to hear two of me. Okay, so, no. Okay. Sis, you want to try and go out and come back in, maybe? See if that helps, because I don't want you to just be on mute, because I know that if I'm on mute and I yell something, no one fucking hears me, because I forget to unmute. And my mic just fell down, so give me a minute. So, anyways, Dawn would call me when Candace wouldn't know. Sometimes Candace would be on a phone call with somebody else, or sometimes Candace would be in the middle of, I don't know, being drunk or high, like they both do. Not just Candace. This isn't meant to dig on Candace. I'm just saying. She wouldn't know I was on the phone sometimes. And then there was times where Don would call me, and I know he wanted me to hear him cussing his wife out and calling her every name in the book because he thought I would like that. And then he would call me after, like, didn't you hear that? Like, yeah, that's cool. Like, that don't, like, I got the feeling he was just trying to impress me by basically verbally abusing his wife so that I could hear, and she had no idea I was on the phone. It was very, very Amber Heard, Johnny Depp-ish. But I'm trying to fix my mic. Sorry, guys, while I do this here. So there was one call in particular, and a lot of you guys were there. It happened while I was live, and all hell was breaking loose while I was live, and Dawn was calling, and so Mark took over the show. I was running downstairs, but I had my phone on speaker. A lot of you guys could hear what was going on. It was just one of those super chaotic circus nights with the phones blowing up and Dawn and Candace fighting and all of that. You guys probably remember that well. So this particular night, I had said something about calling the cops, but if I remember correctly, it had nothing to do with the wells, but me calling the cops was brought up. Candace heard this, and I had said it on my live, okay? I had said something about calling the cops, something. Candace was drunk and heard that Don just told me something he shouldn't have. I called the law, and they were on their way. And the words out of Candace's mouth, the exact words, because I'll never forget it, and it's recorded, y'all might remember hearing it, was, "You just done it now, Donnie. I didn't even have to do it. Cher just did it for me. Bye, Donnie. You done it now. Your ass is getting arrested." So I'm like, that's weird, because I really do think she had no clue I was on the phone for that, because I, honest to God, don't think that that's something Don wanted me to hear, because the phone call ended quick after that, and then he called me back again, 20 more times that night. Again, it was chaotic. So, yeah, that was said. We'll have to find that exact live, because as you guys know, there's a few where all hell's breaking loose, and they're screaming in the background, and you guys can hear it. Because we got to also go over where they were demanding my dad help Don because he was scared he was about to get arrested. Do you remember that? Does anyone remember? They thought they were about to get arrested. They thought they were going to get arrested for murder for some reason. And so they thought that my dad, who's been to prison for murder, as everybody knows, they demanded my dad help them. What help would my dad be to them?
I do remember that.
You guys all remember this, right? So now with this theory of Candace being the scapegoat, because perhaps, again, she could be at fault for being, neglectful and all of this stuff. Was she an easy target by her own husband and his best friend? I don't know. So we're going to go over a couple things that, if you have that in mind, because a lot of you were texting me privately, we need to go over this again. I'm sorry. Sis, can you talk for a minute? I'm struggling, so I actually got to get up and try and fix this mic. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Did you fix it?
No, I got to get up and go to the other end of the table and screw it back on, so I'm going to give you the floor for a minute here. And we're waiting on Mary anyway, so.
Okay.
All right.
How is everyone? Hope y'all are all okay. You don't hear an echo now, do you? And I went out and come back in. Yeah, Don's an ass. Yeah. I remember that though. I remember Candace saying that also, that you've done it now. Hi, Dr. Phil. How are you? Absolutely. Always here for summer. Yep. Don't hear one. Okay, that's good. It might have been how I connected the first time. Now, if you have a desktop, you can't go into Messenger, just straight into Messenger. You have to go to Facebook and then go to Messenger, and then you have to close your Facebook out because it won't the desktop won't let you just use the Messenger app. It's so stupid. But I remember when Candace said that. I sure do. Yeah, I know. Just anything to make it more complicated. And I hope StreamYard's working today because I heard a few creators say that they were having a hard time with it cutting in and out. So I hope StreamYard doesn't do that tonight. They were having a hard time about it. Who all is in, and I will speak. Lips, Miss Eve, Patty Ponytail, how are you?
Hey, Patty.
And forever, Angie
right.
Bly.
I'm just going to
Everybody,
set...
hello. They said there's no echo. That's better.
Yeah, it does sound better now. Maybe it was
Yeah.
my mic like falling down and stuff. Let me shoot Mary a text just to remind her.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, crap. I don't know where I went. Oh, no.
There we go. Okay.
I got to find you. I can't find my thing left. Can you still hear me, Cher?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Yep.
Yep. I got to find myself. I don't know where I went.
Okay, so now we're going to...
There you are. So weird. I just disappeared off the whole freaking screen. Oh, Lord. Hi, Miss Aussie. Good to see you. There's Running Grey Wolf. Good to see you, Running Grey Wolf. Candace had tons of chances to leave Don safely and get away from him. You're right. You are right.
Yeah. Again, could this possibly go back to each one of them has something on each other? Because another thing we have to go over too is they say a few different stories about where they were during Rose Bly's disappearance as well.
Yeah.
Dawn says they were in Arkansas. Candace says they were in between Arkansas and Tennessee, but weren't they also had just left Wisconsin too? So they were they were all over the place. So yeah, they may have been between Arkansas and Tennessee, somewhere around that time. But what did they do before they were on their way? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be away from all that if you could? Mm-hmm. There's got to be something that's kind of holding you there.
So with Candace being the scapegoat, because now it is my opinion, my theory hasn't been proven yet, but there's been slips. And I do think that Hunter was at the house that day. Mm-hmm. Did they go swimming? I really don't know, because you got the Warriors Path people saying the truck was parked at the swim hole all day. Not that she saw them swimming all day, but the truck was parked there all day, right? But I do believe that Hunter was there, because you got the cops that said right in front of Benny, and yes, I do believe Benny when he says he heard the cop tell Candace, "We know you left twice." Because then I have that whole conversation with Don too about it, and he even said, well, when she left, that's when all hell broke loose. Well, what the fuck do you mean that's when all hell broke loose?
Right. Yeah.
What? Mm-hmm. Andy! Running Grey Wolf, Gemini. Love Tammie. Make sure you sub her up. I will have to make sure she's in the description after this. Hey, Wandering. Aussie True Crime, everybody. So let's go back over this with that being a thought that she could be basically the scapegoat for what's going on. Because, dumbass Candace, she was always supposed to have her eye right on Candace, and the minute she turned her back, there goes Summer. But Dawn's the one who said he always knew something was going to happen to Summer, almost like Summer was birthed to be that little girl Dawn always wanted, knowing that something, knowing he was going to give her up one day, basically.
But yet he was there, so he can't really say Candace wasn't watching her wasn't watching Summer, because he was there.
My Dad is on a Cruise is such a good
I know
handle name. It's hilarious.
They've got a lot of cool creative names out here I like. What is that noise?
Describe what you want.
Oh, that must have been that.
And watch it.
A lot.
Okay. So now with thinking Candace could be a possible scapegoat. You remember Dawn. Now, what kind of person Dawn really doesn't want, and this is all stuff we're slowly going back over, thanks to Candace. Dawn said he will gladly give up his life for what happened to Summer. And how dare I say and suggest that Candace is guilty of a heinous crime? When have I ever said a heinous crime? What makes him think whatever happened to Summer was a heinous crime? You know what I mean? So she didn't just walk off and get away, because that's not a heinous crime. That's a girl disappearing because parents were neglectful and she got lost out in the woods. That's not I wouldn't consider that a heinous crime. But this is the same guy saying that Summer possibly got hit in the fucking head with a hammer. The exact words out of his mouth.
Or locked in a basement.
Locked in a basement being someone's sex slave, and it's probably better she dies than lives through that, right? This is what her father is saying. Only a few hours of his 5-year-old daughter, going missing. Hi, Miss Mary.
Hi, Cher. How are you?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, Mary. Good to see you again.
Hi.
It's just us ladies tonight. You, me, and Tammie tonight.
Okay.
So, the title is Candace a Scapegoat? Kind of going over, as you know, Candace has wanted me on Tim and Don's ass, kind of alluding to that's guilty knowledge, in my opinion, but that she's innocent on what happened to Summer. Because as long as she is around, nobody would harm Summer or do that, whatever that is, to Summer, as long as she is around. So I'm going to go with, okay, maybe she wasn't around, because then I've got that text of Dawn saying she wasn't here, and that's when all hell broke loose. So he's saying Candace wasn't there.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think he realized what he texted to me, but yeah, that's...
Right. Yeah. I also heard, is Ellie checking into any of this now, or?
I've been told numerous times that Ellie is always watching. So if Dawn or Candace get up on anybody's panels and they're running their mouths, bet your ass the law is watching. That's what I was told. And I do believe that, because there's certain things that a few times when I called TBI or law that they have said back to me that I know I had just recently mentioned on a live show. So that did make me feel like they're watching.
Okay.
It gave me a little bit of hope that they're watching, because I used to be feeling like, what the hell are they doing? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Ellie. Oh, I thought you were saying L-E. But, I do believe Hunter was there that day, and that, when she went to bring Hunter home is when whatever happened to Summer, when Dawn says, well, let's see if I can find that quick before I pull this up. We're going to have a show with Mary doing, a lot of people wanted another quilting event.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did I take the screen down? Okay, we'll move that for 1 second, and then let's see if I can find really quick that text, because you guys
Well, I
know.
do believe he knows way more than what he's saying anyway, Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because remember, Candace went over there. What did you tell them? And, why is she still calling him and going over there that same evening?
Right. Yeah.
There I am, okay. Would that be under video or short? That must be a short. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Wandering Hearts. I didn't see you earlier.
Open your eyes.
So I have to go through this whole conversation again, because this was about bringing Hunter home and Hunter going through his phone. But right here, she wasn't even there, because that's when all hell broke loose. Hunter's story was completely fabricated.
And that's what Donnie said?
Yes, that's from Dawn to me.
So where was she? If she wasn't there.
Where was bringing Hunter home? That's what I think. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
But she was made. I mean, it's possible she was made to be a scapegoat. But here, let's listen back because a few of you were like, "Do you remember this interview where she slips a few things?" And Dawn mentions right here in the interview, Summer. Well, she's dead, like just nonchalantly, and Candace is like, "What the fuck did you just say?" Like, looking shocked, right? So,
Right.
maybe it is very possible. So I wanted to go over that again, and I had quite a bit of people ask if we could go over that again. So I was like, yeah, let's do that because it does. There's new people coming onto this case all the time.
Yeah.
And again, it's Candace wants me on Dawn and Tim. Dawn says some interesting things. And again, Candace looks shocked at some things here. So let's do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Property by
And she
herself
doesn't,
or off
she knows
this
she don't
yard
walk. Okay, let's go right.
a lot. I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off.
I don't think she was supposed to say that. Or maybe she said that on purpose to hint to people. Hey, I know she didn't just walk off of here.
Right.
So you're saying then what? Someone took her off of there or Dawn took her away? Like either way, you're saying you know someone for sure took her off there? I
This
don't know.
yard
Off of this
a
yard.
lot.
Out of this yard.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart.
See, like right there, is that a hidden clue? Because we know that. We know that she went inside. You told the brothers to play with her, and then she went down to the basement. So, like, yeah, we know someone didn't come and take her from the yard beside her swing. And, you know, we remember all of the people going crazy. The swing was a hot topic for years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
and this is why, because it's a weird thing to say after you just try to convince everybody that she was in the house.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That somebody has came up here and took her
I'm going to just turn my
and
camera
lured
off
her away from here.
while I enjoy a Canadian smoke here. If you want to turn your camera off, Mary, or keep it on, I don't care. You look beautiful. Your hair's on point today.
Yep.
I'll turn mine back on shortly.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV.
Okay, because we always get mixed up what were the boys doing because they switch their stories around so much. So right
Yeah.
here, they're in the kitchen watching the TV.
Yep.
And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2
I'll
minutes,
be
I
back.
came back. And I asked the boys where their
Watch Summer. I'll be back. Do you have to tell them you're going to be back when you're just 5 feet away?
Right.
I don't think so.
It's like she stuck that in there on purpose.
I'll be back if you're going somewhere and leaving and coming back, maybe. But not if you're just like walking.
Yeah. So she wasn't there. Like Dawn says, she wasn't there. That's when all hell broke loose. Candace says nothing would happen to Summer as long as she was around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? She might be high, but I do know that she hasn't been proven guilty of anything. So doctors probably did medicate her because they do tend to do that to the mothers in these types of cases. So there's probably a bit of Xanax on there. Yeah, she threw in the 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes ended up 4 minutes into 5 minutes, 10 minutes to however long. By the end of Chris McDonough talking to her was like she was
Yeah.
gone for the day. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause she can't remember what she's saying from time to time.
Yeah. Now, I would like to just play this through and whatever, but we do have to, for fair use, pause it every once in a while, guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
sister was, and they said, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay.
Okay.
And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears. And she was nowhere in sight. And I didn't get no answer. She went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom.
What's up, Mary? I was gonna rewind it because that's when she said, "Is that the scream that Jody Sue claims she's here?" Then because she's out there hollering for them, but Dawn says they were all out there hollering for them.
Yeah.
Where she says that she never goes for walks because of the bears around there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have on recording, I was talking to Donnie, both Donnie and Candace, and I was asking them about the bears, if there were bears around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, no, they don't come around. They don't bother us. They're, we really don't see them a lot. So that kind of made me think, why was she saying she don't go on walks because of the bears when they actually both told me that there really wasn't a lot around and they weren't scared or anything of them.
Right.
And I have that on recording.
You do.
I do.
So now, Dawn had sent me a picture off of someone's like trail cam of a bear walking, but I didn't get, like, I feel like that wasn't Dawn's house. It was off of somebody else's trail cam. Or if it was, I feel like it was from a while ago because the way it was cropped and sent to me. I'll find that because it'll be good. I mean, I have no doubt that there's bears in the area, yeah, because like where they are. But yeah, I mean, obviously, and my boys too, they live in the woods and they have dirt bikes and four-wheelers and stuff. And the bears do go out when they're, doing the bear baiting and it's the season. But you know what they stopped doing back there? They don't ride four-wheelers and dirt bikes after a certain point of the year. So that the bears and animals don't get scared off.
Yeah.
So, and we see them, they're riding their dirt bikes all around out there. I do feel like they'd be more on the scared end, but I don't know. I don't know. But even if it was a bear, there'd be some remnants left of summer. There would be.
Yeah. Clothing or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're everywhere in Tennessee for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Big H Eve. Yeah, welcome everyone. Rockin' Robin. Lost your son from suicide. A doctor under good insurance in Knoxville didn't give Xanax to. I beg, just saying. Well, I do know that they were medicated. Whether it came from a doctor or not, I really can't tell you, but I do know that they were medicated. Shit, you had the law bringing them alcohol, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not into fitness or walking or jogging. No. When she said she was going somewhere, that means she was getting in her fucking car and riding somewhere. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It didn't mean she was just walking 50 feet over there to see her mom.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, okay. 2 minutes I came back. And
2 minutes. Hold on. Go back. Okay.
And within 2 minutes I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay.
Also, not for nothing, just realizing, like, that's a whole lot of information right there. Like, I feel like, oh, nothing, Mom. They went downstairs to play with their toys. Like, that's a whole lot of information that if my distracted young boys are on TV, it's going to be like, I don't know, maybe downstairs. Like, they're not. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of detail, and we know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or could mean.
Could mean putting too
Wild
much
pigs
information
and
in.
bobcats.
Yeah.
There would be something. Yes, from Gemini, yeah. If from any animals, guys, I feel like there would be some, like from the pigs or from, over description. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm feeling about it. Yeah. I didn't really notice that before, but yeah.
Downstairs for her a couple times.
And you ladies just holler if you want me to pause it at any certain point. Just.
And I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she
Hey,
always answers
Lolo.
me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here.
Coyotes.
Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and
And this is when
I
Dawn
pray and hope
chimes
that
in.
they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I mean, I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently.
See, and that gets into the whole red truck. It was no red truck. Don pulled that shit out of his ass, in my opinion, right then and there during this interview. And Candace is like, what? This is why now I'm wondering, Candace, with our conversations for the last 3 months, it makes me wonder, like, has she been dropping subtle hints? Because, like, why is she saying some of this? So you either know, Candace, and you have that guilty knowledge, and again, like, come on, be the person to get the answers. Be the person that puts an end to all of this fuckery, Candace. Please be that person. Be that person so that one day your boys are going to be like, my mom is the one who put an end to this shit.
Yeah.
Screw my dad. Screw these people. My mom finally did what was right. Thank you, Mom. We're proud of you, Mom. That's very possible, Candace. That is so very possible. I'm really telling you, because I know you're watching, and I'm really telling you. I told you, Candace, I do believe it's possible you are being the scapegoat. We heard what Dawn said to you. My 7 alibis, you ain't got none. You're going down.
I remember that too. Yeah.
And who says that about their lovely, beautiful wife they love so much?
Right? Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
The police and clear it up. I mean, I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently.
It's very weird.
But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves.
Well, for her, it
And
would
if
be
you're not a suspect,
just
at
gone
least
if she left and came back. You know, if she left like you thought, and then she came back and Summer was just gone.
Well,
For
her
her,
mom was there.
Yeah.
Allegedly, her sons were there. And we don't freaking know if Tim Mullen was there or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
For all we know, that man could have been hiding in the bushes waiting for Candace to leave, or hiding somewhere waiting for the bitch to leave.
Yeah.
You're not a bitch. That's just how I talk. I'm sorry. She's not a bitch. I'm not, like that. I just say that sometimes.
All right.
She's not a bitch.
Isn't there a time frame there, like a couple hours missing?
Yeah, between like 3:09 and 6:29. We
Yeah.
are missing all of that. And as we heard last conversation, Dawn said it's not for YouTube. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. And another thing is, didn't he say that he got home from Jonesboro, like, what, in 25 minutes?
Yeah. Mhm.
I timed that. That he would have had to have been going 130 miles an hour to get home in 25 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with Dawn's driving, could be that 12, 13-minute window
Well-
Jody Sue Brown's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that video that I played, share that was yours on my channel. I mean, I was getting car sick watching the video with the way he was driving and going.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
You know, I had been with Donnie a few times when we would go out, say we would go out drinking or something when we were teenagers.
mhm.
And believe me, that boy drives like crazy. I mean, he literally Like in a 25-mile-an-hour zone, he would be going 50.
Well, I
You
could
know?
tell from that video that he was just like,
Yeah,
Speed demon.
yeah.
Yeah.
always has been. Yep.
Wow. I want Candace to tell us how she tossed the phone into the back of Don's truck. His truck a bed cover on it. His work truck always have a bed cover on it. Because if you go back to and you hear Don talking on, maybe it was on White Boy Lockdown, or who knows where it was, but he was talking about the cops came, or he said it on I think he might have said it on my channel and everyone's channel, but the cops came. You guys will remember they turned around the house a few times. They got in his work truck a few times and tore that to shit, and he
Yeah.
was very upset with the law for doing that, even though they're just trying to find answers to find their daughter. They were very upset about their house and his white work truck. Now, you'll notice that he claims he drove the red car that day. Why was the law tearing up his white truck then?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think he was even there at work that day.
No. I mean, no. You can't make me believe it. The story's changed too much, and now he's screamed that he wasn't there, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
The red
Come
truck
forward
has
and
come up a
say
lot.
what you-
Several red trucks have come up a lot.
Yeah,
Not
some
just his.
people, including the bread lady, has made a big deal. But here, this is Candace. Now, this is this the same day she went missing, but later on that night? Hold on.
I think this was probably a couple of days
A
after.
couple days
I was thinking
after?
a couple of days after, yeah.
Yep, a couple days. So this is June 29th, 2021. So June 29th.
It's about 8 days,
Well-
about a week.
But that's when they uploaded it,
Oh, okay, yeah.
right? Because this isn't a live stream. So that's when they uploaded it.
Oh, okay.
So within a week, anyway, of her,
Right. Yeah.
her going missing.
Yeah.
Tomboy, I shaved my head. She wanted to have her. But I wish they would come forward.
And go to the FBI, the police, and clear.
Even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
And just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I mean, I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently.
See your eyes?
But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect,
You know what? Candace actually does have
at least come
tears.
forward and say
There
what
is
she's
actual
saying.
tears.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave
believe
her
that.
head.
She tried.
Yeah, I don't believe that because all of us ladies have been little girls. And how do you go from she always wanted to be a princess and look beautiful like, you know, Robin Lane
Yeah.
and that, and then be like, shave my head?
Yeah.
Now,
Or,
do
you
I
know,
believe she was a tomboy? Sure, but I don't believe she wanted her head shaved.
Yeah.
with his other kids, they had to constantly shave little Donnie and Marju's hair because they had lice so freaking bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the traits that Donnie and Candace were doing to the boys and Summer were the exact same traits that him and Pam were doing with Donnie and Margie.
What do
It
you
was-
mean?
It's
Traits.
just so uncanny, like the shaving of their
Okay.
heads because of the lice. You know, just stuff like that. The way they lived, their house was filthy, you know.
And so before he got with Candace, he was also talking about selling his other children.
Oh yeah, he tried getting rid of them. Both of
And
them.
so he was shaving his daughter at that time's hair as well?
Yeah, I mean Margie, she was what, 4 or 5 years old. Even little Donnie.
So the similarities are
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
spot on with what he did with both families. In
Yep.
other words,
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how do you think about Pam and Candace? Are they like would you say Dawn has a type? Or are they very different?
Well, yeah, apparently so, because I heard that Candace was homeless and Pam was homeless too. Pam has always pretty much been homeless until she got with Donnie. And then, a lot of the times, God, they would just up and move, take off so many times, but it was because CPS was
mm-hmm,
constantly trying to get involved.
Yep.
mm-hmm,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember on that day, did you ever get to question Dawn and Candace, where was everybody that day? Because remember it started originally that Dawn took the boys to work because they were dodging CPS. Then that changed. The boys were home cleaning the house or whatever. But so maybe he did take them to work, and then that's when he came home with the boys. Because we'll go over my live stream where he first was saying on my live stream that he had called Candace, and he decided to work late on June 15th because why go home when he would just be by himself? So why not just work? But it's like, you wouldn't have been home by yourself because allegedly your boys were there. So what do you mean? Why wouldn't you go home to be with your boys? You wouldn't have gone home to be alone because your boys were there. They were not at the swimming hole that day.
Right. Yeah. When I asked him about it, he told me that the boys were home.
Hey, Susan, thank you so much for watching. Summer's head was shaved by the boys, wasn't in several pictures. Well, Summer's head was shaved and the boys wasn't. That's true. Yes, Real Rockin' Robin. We've had that. Tammie and I have talked about that as well. And also you look, so if the kids that you live with have lice, you got Candace and Summer with their hair shaven. There is pictures where it's Candace and Summer with their hair shaven and not the boys. And then you got Don, who had his nice, beautiful, flowy Fabio hair at all times and didn't have his hair shaven.
The lion.
Yes, the cowardly lion. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Boys had long hair when Summer didn't. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
In the back and make it. I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of
That's
control.
also possible,
so
Koopa Mama.
we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad.
Right there. Right there. He just forgot the Tim Mullins script. He just forgot the Tim Mullins script.
Some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control, so we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head to
Make it up.
so she wouldn't feel bad. But
Almost a good save there, Donnie boy.
Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to.
All right. So what do you think? What do you think about that? He knew right at the beginning, like no questions asked. Someone took her.
Because that's what he wanted to push. So it took the narrative away from something happening at home.
Yeah, he's lying. He's man. It's just crazy the way he lies. And I think he was the one who was at home waiting for Candace to get there, waiting.
Turn it up a bit. Yes, I can.
So, I just think he was waiting for Summer, and I think he's the one who took her. When I very first heard that she was missing, my very, very first thought was Donnie did it.
Right, Running Wolf. Now, to that point, Running Wolf, when girls do want to, let's just buzz our hair off and start it fresh, that's usually when we're older and we've dyed our hair so much it's all fucking fried, and we want to cut it mostly off. My daughter does it all the time because she bleaches her hair so damn much, and I used to have to do it too. You chop it off so that you can grow it long and start it all over again. But not a 5-year-old girl who's, we've seen her with some fun hair dye colors, but that's not the same kind of hair dye I'm talking about. That's just kid washout hair dye. You know what I mean? So But we could see right there that he forgot what Tim Mullen wanted him to say.
Mm-hmm.
Have to go through their, right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But
Now, you know who didn't forget that word? Candace.
Mm-hmm.
She said that investigation on you, Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Word was right on the tip of her tongue. But Donnie's not thinking about it because he really don't want that.
They have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do
She
one
got
step
it,
at a
Dawn.
time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and
Oh, this is
everything
disgusting.
else, and I feel for
Disgusting.
'em.
Whatever.
I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house.
And you know
in
this.
the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way.
I think Candace shaved Summer's hair and Dawn got mad and made Candace shave hers also. Now, that is an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Could have. I don't know. Donnie is pretty. I don't know. What's the word for it?
Whoa, what the heck? Sorry. What were you saying, Mary? He's pretty what?
He has a way about him. I'm trying to think of the word. Like he, I mean, they've been together for so long, and he he just like beats her down.
So he's like gaslighting and manipulating her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he has this way about him to manipulate not just her, but people in general.
Yeah. Good, Susan. And we have to, because there isn't any new news on Summer's case, so that this is all we really have, is to keep going back.
Yep.
And, again, just had Candace telling me, get on Dawn and Tim's, which I was always basically doing. I told Candace I was always on Dawn's ass, not so much yours. But, okay, so when you have her saying this, it tells me she knows a lot more than she's saying. And why me, the one she hates the most? Is it because she saw it working? And that's what she was afraid of at first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, and I kind of think that that's another reason why Donnie didn't want Chris McDonough around either. I think Chris was
100%.
getting too close to the truth.
And that's why he always, Chris the Bliss, he always has to, I'm going to discredit everyone's channel and make fun of Chris. Well, it's, in my opinion, it's for two reasons. It's because he's afraid of Chris and what he can undig, because it's Chris's career, is it? And then also, I think that he attacks, you heard how he goes off about my husband. And I think he attacks men like that Dawn wishes he could be like. But he will never, ever, ever come close, not even a fucking hair or a string close to a Mark Paxman or a Chris McDonough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Chris is the only one that ever went in the house.
The lab, Josh at the lab, he goes off on these guys because he is jealous of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just like what Candace does, because she has jealousy as well. And it's normal. I'm not digging at you, Candace, and I'm not digging at Dawn for it either. It's very common.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. I gotta get through this stupid commercial here.
EVE Online is a vast
Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that.
Oh, let me rewind because now I forgot doing it.
The way you can search every single house else, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house.
Hey, Polly.
In the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that. Out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our
That
hearts.
means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's
Honestly, it
awesome.
kind of does look like Candace is just like, shut the fuck up, Don. You know what I mean? Like, I am so tired of hearing this man. Like, look at
Going
just
on and
look at
on.
her unfazed. Like, she's put herself in just a whole nother world. Like, just let's get this done with. Like, you know, not seen but 3 bars when you lived there. And now this gets weird because he keeps wanting to refer to his 5-year-old daughter as beautiful young lady. It's just
Yeah.
weird.
From
Like
the
a
bottom of our
teenager.
hearts.
Means a
Yeah.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. But, yeah, there's always
Yeah, maybe like look in the camera and make us believe that, Don.
Yeah.
Like what?
going to be haters, you know, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are
Okay.
trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer.
That's what you want to focus on.
And
So he
thank
said it
them
right
from the
there.
bottom.
Let's not focus
They
on
did.
Summer. Let's just focus on like us doing better.
Yeah, you got to take it off of Summer. You got to take the.
Tammie and I are going to go through that too, if you don't remember. When Candace told me and Mark, now at this point, Summer's still missing and all 3 of her boys were taken away. And Summer's calling me and Mark drunk off of our ass and my dad. We were all on this big call, if you guys remember, because I recorded it and I did do a live. It might be private now. But she was like, we're like, so how are you guys doing? And Candace said, fucking awesome. I'm doing fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dawn and I are doing so good. And now me and Dawn we can learn to love each other and grow together. And we are fucking awesome.
Remember that.
What?
I remember that. Yep.
And so like when I remember these kinds of things, Candace, it kind of makes me go like, well, wait a minute. She can't be that innocent if this is the way she's talking.
Yeah.
And then you got the Momo grin ear to ear at a water park. Now, I do know you did have the boys at that point when you're at the water park, and you got to still have them live their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And whatnot. But that was just a bad look. It was just a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he's about to fuck up and say now. Chat, I'll pay attention again in a minute, chat. Don't worry.
He's about to make everybody
always
mad.
going to be haters, you know.
Yeah.
And,
As
you know,
usual.
it's always going to be that way in this world, and we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are.
Claudia, day one, I was really upset with the channel Unmasked and how she was going about, and it started. I mean, these people didn't come on the YouTube scene and come before all of us before they were already paid for a narrative by YouTubers. And that pissed me off. And so I went after and I let them have it. And so I was like, you know what? Well, fuck you then, Nessa. I'm going to try and do this the right way. And I'm not going to pay a fucking penny for someone to talk. Because you damaged and made everybody uncredible right there at the jump, right out of the gate, when you're paying someone because you already know, well, they're going to pay to hear what you want them to say. They're going to say what they want to say, but they're not dumb. They know what you want to hear. And that's why all these people have told us all different stories. Because they're going along with the narrative they think each one of us wants to hear.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. And so I didn't like that. And as I learned more and more of the story, I started seeing my own history wrapped up in this. And I said, you know what? Let me call Dawn Wells my damn self. And that's what I did. And that's what I did.
Trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind
Hi,
of people
Marie.
we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck or We
Wait,
hardly
what?
know many of our neighbors.
No.
I mean,
Wait, I thought he's the one who brought it up, though, because Candace just heard it from Dawn. What do you mean?
He was. He just brought it up.
The fuck you mean, Dawn?
Right? Yeah.
Rewind.
Yep.
and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck or.
I think he's
we
saying he
hardly
didn't know about it
many of our
beforehand.
neighbors. I mean,
I think that's what he's trying to say. Like we didn't know about the red truck before.
Yeah, right. So
Mm-hmm.
Jody Sue just ran her fat ass up that hill and told him about it then. And she was all like,
Now,
like
Chair, you know
bubbling
she
Sue.
sneaks around the back
Right. Marble mouth Jody Sue.
with her measuring thing so she can make sure she's roping off the right property.
Now I have Donnie on a recording about that red truck. I was talking to him one day, and he was saying that all about that red truck that morning because I was asking him. I was like, so it was that morning that you seen that truck? And he was telling me.
He was saying yes.
Well, yeah, but he was telling me that he was going to pull that truck out because it was stuck.
I remember that too.
And he said there was a guy and
That's what he told me too. And we asked him, yes, Mary, but he has to have that timeline wrong because he's claiming he saw it, that morning, early in the morning. But here's my thing. He ran out to tell the cops, can I take a picture of it, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, sure, Mr. Wells, go ahead. Well, you're taking pictures of it because you think they took Summer. But if you're going out there and that truck was there that morning before Summer got gone and then it wasn't to take pictures then that it took Summer because Summer wasn't missing yet.
Right.
So you wanted to take pictures because you knew Summer was going to go missing and now you have someone to blame it on.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's what I was thinking.
Is this the red truck that had the four-wheeler in the back of it or something?
The ladder rack, something.
Something was in the back. Okay. Yeah.
Right? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, Mary, he told me that too. And we were going over it because it doesn't make sense on one of our first interviews. And I couldn't make sense of it because either you're out there taking pictures before Summer got gone, which leads me to believe that you were just trying to set this person up then and use it as like an alibi or something because you knew what was about to happen.
Yep.
Or Summer got gone way earlier than we're being told that day and your ass was home, so you wanted to take pictures.
I think she was gone earlier than they're saying.
Or it was a whole different day and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and that was from a completely different day after Summer got taken, which is why he's asking to take pictures of it because it was a red truck in the area. I don't know. One of those three things.
I believe. I think it was. She had been gone for a good little bit before they called, so they gave it a head start.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely had to have been because these people are too fucking dumb.
I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
Like Tim Mullen, who's already in the picture at this point, by the way.
Safe.
Okay, here we go. Now
Real
we
good
want to.
neighbors
Now
and
I'm gonna have to shut up
good
and we're gonna
folk.
have to listen because he says some
try
weird
to
shit.
be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
The most important thing is to bring Summer home safe. I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband.
Okay,
He's
this
always
gets weird
provided
too.
for us.
This is supposed to be about Summer, and here we are praising what a good husband and father Don is. This is Tim Mullen written all over it. The fuck? That it doesn't even make sense right now.
We've never
Yeah.
went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us, and has worked as much as he could and can and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around.
Treat her like what?
Exactly.
What is that, Candace? Candace, what is like that? Treat her like what? And I just showed, so Candace wasn't there. That's when all hell broke loose. So was she not there when whatever happened to Summer happened?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And then they allowed her to set it up, like, let's post this and post this so that we all see she's the last one with Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Because we heard how Dawn talks to her. You're going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And right here sounds like something happened to Summer when she wasn't around. I'm going to rewind.
It's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around.
Where were you?
It's the way she
Ever.
says it too.
Yep.
She loves to
Here,
dance.
and Dawn had to jump in real
She
quick.
would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl," and she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl till my arm got
Drive me nuts.
And I'm
tired.
like, damn,
You
Summer.
know, I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past.
Summer's favorite song seems to change a lot too, because I thought it was
Yeah.
New Breed, My House.
Yeah.
Now it's Godzilla. Which, like, hold on, wait a minute. What? That's Eminem, no?
I don't know.
I'm not quite sure.
Can't remember what Godzilla is about, but the New Breed one. Her favorite song was Godzilla.
Well, she shouldn't have been listening to Eminem at 5. Just saying.
Right?
Just saying.
Hold on. Eminem Godzilla lyrics. Let me just see here. Oh, my phone just typed in what I said. Let me just see here. I could swallow a bottle of alcohol. Feel like Godzilla. A cross between a zombie apocalypse and Bobby Brown. Okay, like I know this song, but I'm just trying to think, like, what is it about at the end? Sleep on me, so this isn't like. I'm trying to see, like, what's the story about it? Like, is it like New Breed? We kind of know what it's about. If it's Yeah, I mean, this isn't. I don't understand why that would be her favorite song, because it's just like it's not really. It's an Eminem song. You know what I mean? It's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, it's got a lot about drinking and drugs in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like it being about any certain thing, not really. It's just a Eminem track. But they're together right now. Yeah, they are together right now. She went back to him.
Dance was, one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well.
Okay, so they're jumping all over me about past tense was whatever. So that's on his mind to the point he's saying what you're not supposed to say out loud. Out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So either TBI and the law was getting on him, like, okay, you're speaking past tense, like, what's happening to your daughter? Or my personal opinion is that the Tim Mullen is like, be careful about speaking past tense. Don't use past tense. And so it's all on his mind. So again, he says the thing out loud that you're not supposed to say out loud. I shouldn't be speaking past tense. Damn it, Dawn.
I'm sorry. Summer's favorite songs was
Hi, Chill.
Godzilla,
Chill, Billy.
and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well. I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House.
There we go.
My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and you know, and all that, like all young girls do. And
She loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa and
Aw.
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there.
Her
And
head shaved if she
I
wanted to
think
be Elsa.
you can't.
She's
be in
breaking right
church
there,
because
Candace.
She felt a lot
Yeah,
of,
no, not if you want to be Elsa.
I think she really loved to be in church.
There she goes. He
because she
goes
felt
rubbing her back. Strategic right there.
I think she really loved to be in
When she's
church
about to-
because she felt a lot of love there, and I think
There's
you can't
times they take the
explain
camera
what
off
that
of
love is,
Candace.
but
I
you
wish they
feel it
wouldn't.
and you know it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're young, and she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church. Or she loved.
I don't believe
everybody
so,
in that
Susan.
Church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense.
Remember, they were trying to get them separate and talk, but they wouldn't. So they did have Dawn like in a room in the house, and Candace in the back of a squad car, and they were trying to question them, but they weren't. They were Candace right away, immediately was saying, "I'm not talking to the cops." So they did try to question them separately and together, but they just weren't having it. Dawn was answering, of course, but he's answering Dawn's way, and it's Dawn's narrative. But Candace was like, "Fuck everybody, I'm not talking to you." And that's really well known.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
She quit interviewing.
Yeah. And
Candace
then
did.
every interview after all that, it was like, "I'm being interrogated again."
Yeah.
No, but you are the mother of this missing girl, and yeah, it's been set up to look like you were the last one with her. And when you keep going on and supporting and having Don's back and helping him lie and play all these games, it doesn't look good, Candace. So you are complicit in that.
The one they just done, Candace didn't. She was going to interview, remember, and then she changed her mind.
Mm-hmm.
This last one they just did.
Yeah, and you know, you're more worried about getting interrogated, which is odd, than just talking about your daughter. So many people would kill for the attention that Summer's case has brought to have on their missing loved one, adult or child. Because they would be willing, and I've had people tell me, they would be willing to take all of the bad just so that people are saying their missing loved one's name and keeping their memory alive.
Yeah.
And here we have you, Candace, you don't want to talk, but then you're calling people like, "Hey, go after my husband. There's something there." But like, you won't talk. And
Right.
you won't even talk to the law. Unfortunately, people have been there to see that this is true, that you won't talk to the law. Because you're right. Talking to a YouTuber, to hell with that. To any YouTuber, to anybody on social media, YouTuber, TikTok, whatever. To hell with that. But the FBI, TBI, you should be knocking down all their doors daily, begging for help. Whether Dawn wants to be there or not.
Yep.
I don't understand a woman that can carry a child in their bodies and feel that and incubate your child and have that child grow and be a part of you until you push that child out. You are keeping this baby alive inside of you. You are feeling their heartbeats at times. You're getting those flutters. You're feeling their feet. You can see their footprints when they get big enough on your stomach. And how you can just do nothing. I don't. It really, really fucking confuses me, and it makes me very angry. I don't understand, and I don't ever want to understand that.
No. That's why we can't wrap our minds around it, because we can't possibly understand that.
And Candace, we know why you didn't want to have a little girl. We know exactly why you didn't want to have a little girl, because you knew the stories that were going to come out. You knew what happened to Mary here and her other siblings. You knew what, and if it happened to Mary and Mary's sisters and other family members, do you really think I'm going to believe it hasn't happened to anybody else outside the family even?
Mm-hmm.
There's just people that aren't talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I have a niece that I tried to have her come forward also, but I don't know. She just told me, she's like, Mary, I'm not saying nothing. I'm staying out of it. I said, you won't call, the TBI or anything and let them know what happened? She goes, nope, I'm not saying nothing. Staying out of it.
Yeah.
So,
And I get that because, I mean, look, you tried everything you could and nothing. You just got more abuse and attacks from him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I apologize again for that.
Candace is,
I
the
hope
whole
she gets
vibe
to
has
come
changed.
home, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Look at
Her
the
best
look.
friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
What'd you say?
She looked up to
When
The looks,
women
the
that
side
were-
eye
come to
Yeah.
that church,
given.
our church family again.
her best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to
When
women that were
she come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
any woman that.
And don't forget, if people
was
have forgotten
professed-
or there is anyone new, right before Summer got gone, which was just, wasn't it like a week before Father's Day? It was right around Father's Day that she got gone, right?
Yeah, it was June 21st.
So, yeah, right before Father's Day, that's when Summer got gone. I always thought that was a little weird. But on Mother's Day,
Or June. Was
it
June?
wasn't Candace who Summer gave Mother's Day present to. It was Robin. Robin got Mother's Day gifts from Summer right before she got gone.
yeah,
What the actual hell?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've always thought that was weird.
That is so weird. So very weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like it was like a necklace or something, wasn't it?
Yep. Necklace and earrings. Yeah. Yellow and silver or
No,
something.
Yeah.
that-
Pretty,
Yeah,
beautiful.
she looked up to those kind of women. She was professional.
was
That
pretty,
yeah,
beautiful.
she looked up to
Oh
those.
God. This.
She went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional.
Was
That
pretty,
yeah,
beautiful.
she looked up to those kind of women. She, they were.
Not you,
the word I'm
Candace.
looking
Like,
for.
did you hear how he's putting her down?
Can't think
That's
of it.
basically what he's saying.
It looks like oh man. How did she just not punch him in his fucking throat? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Looked up to him.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just
Wow.
a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if it's going to be possible.
She give them a run for their money every day. They were, the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them.
Normal, yeah.
She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money. And there was times, we'd be, at our boys, like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, the stick would come up and just whop them, and it'd be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family.
She's
She,
a typical girl.
when they get out of line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud.
Okay,
and
there's
the walk.
something so alike Dawn and Chris Proudfoot. And that is, I don't even know if he's trying. A part of me wonders if he's doing it on purpose, but a part of me wonders if he just doesn't even try. Like, he's just that, like, okay, he insults. The way he talks is like insulting.
Yeah.
Like, even with like, he's talking about Summer, and it's almost like with annoyance of certain things.
right.
And like, he's low-key insulting his wife and daughter when he's talking about them. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't tell if it's on person or on purpose or not on purpose. Like, he doesn't even realize he's
He's
talking like this.
just an ass.
Just an asshole. Or is it on purpose to kind of like keep the women in check type of thing. Like, I don't fucking know. Good night, Wolf. I'm sorry. I'll pay attention to chat here
And
shortly again.
he's probably always treated everybody this way, so it's not
Degrading. That's the word. Yes. Degrading. It's so fucking weird. Hi, Rogue. Good to see you. Because both of them know what each other has. I think they have something on each other. I still really feel that way. It is very much, and yeah. He wants to feel superior. So you guys notice it, right? It's just. Do you think it's on purpose? Let me know in the chat. Do you think it's on purpose, chat?
And swing on her swing and get out of line, she'd put him in line.
She'd do her best.
She'd love to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run the
Okay, wait,
lawnmower
hold on.
around, she
And
girl.
when they get out of line, she'd put him in line.
She'd do her best.
She'd love to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run
She
the
loved-
lawnmower around, she would run behind
She
me.
would
when
run.
The
They're
boys
both
run their
speaking in
bikes
past tense
around,
now.
She, as fast as that little bike could
Both
go,
of them.
she
So,
would be behind them running. As fast,
Candace, you
keep
have to know something because you're even speaking past tense.
up with them, no problem. You know, she loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she can do that. None of the
Well, she
other
didn't
boys
weigh.
can do that, but she can.
40
Right.
pounds.
School yet?
No,
No.
she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year of
She's been.
kindergarten.
We did all the what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school for ready for this year.
Yeah. I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try
Here
to
we
guard
go
my
with
heart
the
as much as I can, but she just.
Yeah, let's.
Uh,
Okay, hold on, because this is where people,
For-
when we listen to this, you need to remember he's married. And you also have to remember that Summer is not his only daughter. Okay, so when we hear him talk like this, just remember those two things. Here we go.
anyone to get, just never expected
And she's
for
5.
anyone to
5.
get a hold of my heart
Yeah.
like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she just, she holds my heart in her
Yes,
little hands,
Kylie.
and I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
Your little girl.
If there's any way you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow, I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy.
So, if someone just simply took Summer and she's alive and well and gets returned, you're not necessarily going to do prison. I've seen way too many cases. So whatever happened to Summer right here, he's even saying it's prison for the rest of your life worthy.
Right.
And
Right?
I mean, 'cause you're probably
Yeah,
scared
that's.
in your heart.
Yeah, he doesn't want
Please.
anything bad to happen. He don't
Yeah.
want him to be punished.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't want them to be punished and you don't want to go
Yeah.
to jail. But yeah, right here, you know it's prison for the rest of your life worthy of whatever happened to her.
Yeah. Because you know who did it.
Well,
in
he
my
did it.
opinion. Yeah.
I didn't see it, Ryan. Thank you. I didn't see it at all. So whatever. Rogue, I didn't see it. But yeah, Ryan doesn't usually just take comments down for nothing.
Oh, I didn't see it either.
Release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure.
And
But
everything
please
else.
find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting.
So Don, this is probably when you say weird shit like this is why your wife is calling me to to get on this because right here, what information do you know that is going to put someone in prison and everything else
Well, yeah, and then
for the rest of their life?
we just got through saying you need to release her.
You need to release her.
Yeah. So how? Yeah, like
does he
because you know somebody's holding her.
Yeah. How does he know?
Her goal, and where we can get her back, and just please have mercy on her, and you know, and us, and her brothers, and she's such a loving, good spirit. Please
Spirit.
don't hurt her, please.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, what parent who would have a missing child would say to the person or persons that they thought might have taken their child that they didn't want harsh punishment for them? I mean, that's not what you're thinking about.'re thinking about getting your child back.
The only thing, and that we've said it from day one, I've said it from day one, is that it's either him or someone he is very close to and loves. That's the only reason why you wouldn't want them to be in prison.
Right.
Right.
Bring her to her back or tell the truth. Bring her back or tell the truth. What are you trying to say there? I missed it. Sorry.
Let her come home, and her brothers, and she's such a loving, good spirit.
I'm gonna rewind that.
Please
Hold on.
The last
have her
place she
back.
needs to be brought back with them.
If there's any way, if you I'd do anything to have her back. If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean,
I don't know how
you're
you
probably
might
scared
do
of going to
that.
prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back, and just please have mercy on her, and you know, and us, and her brothers, and she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. My biggest fear is, you know, her being tormented or locked
this
in
right here just-
a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time.
You mean like her bedroom, Dawn? Like,
What the F?
fuck? Talk about a dungeon in a basement.
Who lets that
Of your
go through their
5-year-old
mind?
girl. Yes, like
What? I don't even.
I get it. You have a missing daughter. She's been missing today. Everything could go through your head. That's what we were explaining it away as in the past. You would think everything. I mean, we would, right? I know I would. So I didn't fault him for that. But this is just fucking weird looking back at it again.
Because she loves the spirit.
Now, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, I rewound it too far, but you're about to hear him. I just caught that quick. He said she loves present, and corrected himself to loved past tense. Holy shit. Listen, you can't make this shit up, Don.
No, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be out.
Did you hear that? He said it how you should have said it and then corrected himself to past tense. She loved. She's dead.
Yeah.
He just corrected himself to the past tense when he said it right the first time. You fucking idiot. This is why Candace wants me on your ass, Don. This is exactly why right here. It's right there.
Yeah.
And the basement that the playroom was the dungeon.
Dungeon by design. Yeah, that's true, you guys.
Outside all the time. That was her, or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all
Wow.
the time. That was her.
Just wow.
Unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would
downfall was
always be close
escaping.
by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And,
She was an
loved to be
outdoor
outside.
person, so she's not now.
Unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot
There
of
you go.
times
Yes, sis, that's always stuck to you too.
Yeah.
because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her. Unfortunately, her downfall. 'Cause a lot of times
She loved to be outside. Unfortunately, that was her downfall.
the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
She loved to be outside.
She loved to be outside, Candace just said. So past tense again with Candace, so that's both of them correcting themselves even to go back to past tense when they fuck it up and use present tense or present
Yeah,
tense.
she loved to be outside because y'all kept her in that dungeon.
Yeah, she loved to be outside, said Candace and Dawn. She loved to be outside. So she used to love being outdoor person. She was an outdoor person. So I guess she's not anymore.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything. And
Hold up, wait a minute.
I'm afraid.
Hold up. I just saw my brother. Uncle Surf, good to see ya. I was thinking about you the other day. I made a community post to tag you. Because I think Mark was at work, so I didn't have your number. But anyways, we were thinking about you. It's good to see ya.
That she won't be able to, I'm blocked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything.
Right,
Love
coupon
nature,
mama. Hi,
and
BB.
That's my greatest fear, that she's
Play
not
with the
able
puppy.
to
How do you know she's got a puppy?
do any of these things.
And
anymore.
wait, okay, I gotta rewind that because I don't think he said she does. I think he said he hopes. But remember Tim Mullen. Puppies and horsies and butterflies. That's how you get a kid to come to you.
Yep. And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, I'm blocked away where she can't be outside or
I don't
play with
remember.
a puppy or anything. Love nature,
Okay, Tim.
And it's that's my greatest fear, that
Yes,
she's
Rogue.
not able to do any of
Enjoy
these
the
things
beautiful
anymore,
outdoors.
or that she could possibly,
Yes,
I
Stranger.
don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive.
But see,
I don't
but-
want to think she's
Candace throughout this before him saying that has used present tense, so she already knew that. I think now that this look to him, Candace, is because you're like, why the fuck did you just say that?
That's what I was just thinking. She's like, oh, what are you talking? Why did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you got Grandis there that you're about to hear
Yeah.
they don't want a problem with and that they need to watch what they're saying because grandma's listening.
Yeah.
Your mom is listening. Watch it. And so, yeah, now that I've heard her throughout this use past tense as well, and Don correct himself to go back to past tense, I think now this was just a, you idiot, you just said something you weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
To do anything, love nature, and it's
Oh, go touch grass, Don.
that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of
Enjoy
these
the
things
beautiful
anymore,
outdoors.
or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the
Okay.
positive.
Sorry.
It's so
Yeah.
easy. address all the negativity,
Look at her.
but
Quick,
it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive
And find her
because
daughter.
it's so easy.
You
to
can't
get,
just say, by the way, you know, she's probably dead. It's a possibility. But hey, let's not focus on the negativity.
Yeah.
I just want to be positive. Like,
Yeah,
what?
that-
You can't drop that on us and then be like, hey, moving along. Everyone be happy now.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly what he did.
you know, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just.
Sorry, the girls are making a 7-Eleven run and asked me if I wanted a treat. That is a little, yeah, that is just slightly negative. Just slightly. Hi, Doobies, Scooby. Well, just stay with us now, Doobie Scooby. And just be with us now in the moment and rewind later. How about that?
Focus on the positive
And find her
because
daughter.
it's so easy to get, you know, lost
Okay,
in that
Candace.
negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say and your prayers.
Did you catch that? We appreciate all the good things you guys say and the prayers.
That's all. Appreciate y'all.
Now, this was recorded before he met me, so...
Good things you say and your prayers.
This was recorded before he did all the interviews.
When mom and sister went missing, I was in between.
Awesome.
When mom and sister went missing, I was in between.
Awesome.
When mom and sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Texas. When mom and sister went missing, I was in between.
So, when my little sister come up missing, Dawn says, your mom is watching. Watch it. Do you guys all hear that, right? I know I've clipped it 100 times by
When
now.
mom and sister went missing.
And your prayers. That's awesome.
When mom and sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen.
I don't know all of what happened, but do you know?
You know,
Some?
sure, I think either Donnie or both of them had a hand in her sister gone missing. Because when I asked Donnie about it, the only thing we were talking about her sister, and I said, well, did you know her sister? And he goes, we weren't even in that frickin' state. And she went missing, and I was like, Donnie, I didn't ask you if you were in that state when she went missing. I was like, I was asking you if you knew her. Oh, well, I didn't really know her. And then like about a week or two later, he comes out and was talking about her sister, and he's like, oh yeah, she was such a good lady, and you know, talking all about her like he really knew her. So I really do think that he had a hand in her missing too.
So my theory, one of my theories about that is when I say they both have something on each other, that's exactly what I mean. That's why if she don't go back to Dawn when he says you better come back, that's why she always does. Because I don't think she wanted to. I really don't think she wanted to go back to him this time. I kind of believe she didn't want to. But there's something held over her. And I think he done Summer in and she did her sister in. And they both have that on each other, which is why they're stuck together until, like Candace says, she's worried that, you know, he'll kill her one day. And I think that that's very possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
What made her talk about Rose? Did they ask her?
They asked. I think they did because you can hear they're being asked questions. You can hear some of it's not, but they chopped a lot of it out. And even
Yeah.
when the questions you can hear them asking, they basically chopped that out as well.
Yeah. I was trying to hear, but I couldn't hear the question.
Not sure, Coupon Mama. Sometimes he pokes his head out, but I'm not really sure. I know his bestie's that Lisa K lady.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a match made in heaven. But that's just my theory. I can't prove that now. That's just my personal theory that I have because, well, I watch everything. I've been following the case and I've had personal dealings with people around Summer. So that's how I make my theories and judgments, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was in between Arkansas.
Okay, y'all, the good things you say and your prayers. That's awesome.
When my sister came missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee.
Now go back. Now you guys, next show we'll go back at the beginning before we keep going on of everything they've said of that time of Rose going missing because their story changes and Dawn where they are changes.
Don't know all of what happened or what did happen.
You don't know all of
but
what
I hope
happened?
that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Sure you do.
Yeah,
That's why
there's
you looked away.
There's
After all these years.
nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything.
And here goes
haven't found
Dawn.
a
Like,
body,
well, if you weren't there or around Dawn, then shut the fuck up.
Right.
nothing.
You know?
Nothing. I mean, she just.
Safely
Let
too.
Candace talk.
Yeah, there's.
He keeps
nothing.
butting in
And
right
bring her
when.
home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything.
She is. Don't forget that at least Robin Lane is over here while this is happening. So Robin is standing right there, by the way, and so is Grandis that we just heard him say, watch it. Hey, Brooks. So yes, Claudia. Yeah, she's definitely looking at
On
something.
a body, nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything. Haven't found a body, nothing.
Wow.
And you know, when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer.
Wow.
You know, I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, you know. So I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope.
Right.
That
Yeah.
now that was a good cover up because I think that like the bread lady Robin Lane's probably over there holding up a fucking sign like like what the hell? You got Tim Mullen on one side like doing this and you got Robin Lane holding up cue cards and you just know it's a fucking circus over there.
Oh
Trying to
yeah.
keep my prayers up, but I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to
Are
keep
you?
my prayers up and
No.
all that.
All that. Yeah, and all that.
All that. All that.
All
stuff.
that.
Yeah. All of
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Wow. You know, my daughter's dead and everything, but let's not be negative. Moving on, people.
Right.
You know, how fucking dare you even want to take a minute there?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, this people. Oh, I'm going to have to keep the camera off because they don't want to be on camera. Wow. That is crazy. The link is there if anyone wants to pop up. But, I mean, there's they told on themselves in this. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you go for a few years not listening to it, and then you listen to it back after taking a little hiatus, and wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gets your blood pumping all over again. What did you think about that, Mary? You must have watched that a 1,000 times like the rest of us.
The interview they're doing right now.
The one we just went through, yeah. What do you make about all that? What do you think?
Well, I think Donnie was trying to take the narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or control.
Even with Rose, he just jumped in there as she was
Yeah.
talking, cut her off.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just really weird. I do have some texts and this was probably about 2 years ago from Donnie, and I was telling him in the text, well, you know that very first interview that he done with the news station with Josie standing next to me?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Remember that? That was the very first interview he done.
Yeah,
That
when
was the
Josie
first
just
one.
he was looking at the ground the whole time.
Yeah, basically the first words out of his mouth was, "I'll see her in the resurrection."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told him, I said, Donnie, I said, why did you say that? I said, because that just basically told everybody that she was already dead. She's dead.
Yeah. Yep.
And he goes, well, I made a mistake. I didn't know what to say. I've never been on camera before. It's like, really, Donnie?
Thank you.
Well, you know that he knew that she was dead before he even done that interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after listening, then. Thank you. Let's see here. What's this one here? Oh. Hi, Tracy.
So have you talked to Candace or anything since the last?
Not in several weeks now. I'd say probably like what, January, whatever. Beginning of January, very last
Right.
of Christmas or something.
Well, I
I
wonder.
realize you.
I wonder if she would come up on panel if you asked her to.
I mean, she was going to then, but now she probably won't because she's with Dawn. Hi, I see you.
So where was she living before Donnie came and grabbed her?
At Dee Dee's house, that her friend that just died, that she didn't do CPR on or anything.
Right? She was living with her?
Her husband, after she was living with her, and then after she died, she still remained there with her husband.
God. Do you
I
know
guess-
how many people have died around them since summer?
That's what I said. Before she started video calling me again, within 24 hours, I said that. She was on Daisy the Cow Barnyard show. And, yeah, the old McDonald one. She was like, she was up on panel there trying to cry about Dee Dee, and then I was like, well, damn, Candace. I thought I was blocked. I was like, damn, Candace, people around you either end up dead or missing. That's wild. Like, holy shit. Like, I'm pretty cool not being your friend after all, you know? Like,
yeah, that, you know, and that's really weird, too.
And then she started calling all Dee Dee stuff her stuff. Oh, me and Fred have this. Me and Fred have 2 houses. Me and Fred have a boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck. That just blows me away.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't the same one, I don't think. Oh, shit. How did I do that? Relearning StreamYard is ridiculous.
Well, it changes a lot.
Dutton's personal agenda is always a
This
service
might not
of vengeance.
be-
Well, Yellowstone's gone, and as for vengeance.
By the way, this show looks badass, and I'm watching it.
My husband wants to watch it too.
Hell yeah.
A week ago tonight, News Channel 11 broke the news that crews were searching for a missing 5-year-old girl out of Hawkins County.
Let me, because I know people are going to take that and run with it, not Fred Hill. I repeat, not Ziggy's husband. Not Fred the Dirty Hill.
Tonight, the search for Summer Wells enters its 2nd week. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Investigators now say they will continue the Amber Alert search, but starting tomorrow, they'll have a focus on specific areas using specialized teams. That area in Hawkins County, in and around the place that Summer Wells calls home. It's off Ben Hill Road. Also tonight, we learned Candus Bly, Summer Wells' mother, has passed.
I wonder that. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, if he's the one who did it to Summer, I think it was because something went wrong. And obviously they couldn't call the law, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think he has a lot to do with Rose too.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I do think that it's possible that
Well, I just think that he had to get rid of her because CPS was on their case.
Yep,
And he
that's
knew that they
exactly
were
what I said.
getting
Yep.
close.
hmm
Because if you remember, Dudley was saying that he was staying in the houses he was fixing on or working on or staying in his car, had a microwave in his car and everything because he couldn't go home. Of course, he couldn't go home because CPS told him he wasn't allowed to be there
hmm
because they were doing an investigation.
And do you remember when Grandis even told it's on a voice recording
Hmm.
or on a video? Grandis wasn't even allowed contact with the boys at the end.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Legally.
hmm
She was like, I can't even be in the house when Candace is talking to them. I'm not allowed contact with the boys.
yep, yeah.
Yep.
So
And Rose's ex-husband, remember he came in our chat, Tammie, and said
hmm
that it sounded like Grandis wasn't really allowed any contact with like any of her grandkids.
Yeah, even the other ones that were
Mm-hmm.
not around her all the time, but even them.
yeah, yeah,
That is part of my theory, Rogue, because I don't think he's there to protect a Dawn and Candace. They're just too dumb. So
yeah.
he's there to protect either his own ass or somebody more important's ass.
Yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
In my opinion.
hmm
Right.
Passed a polygraph test that was administered today. That information coming from Summer's father, Don Wells. He talked with Ansley Daniel tonight. And
Now the news is saying it, but they're saying Dawn told them they
Yeah,
passed. So
Yeah.
just
I
keep
don't
that in
think
mind.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll bet you 10 to 1 neither one of them passed a lie detector test.
Yeah, and if they were told they passed, just remember they're allowed to tell lies
Right.
to
Yeah.
suspects.
Well, is there any way that we can find out if they did?
I don't know. I don't know, because I remember when I was calling around to do polygraphs for Fred, that one of the polygraph people that I called in Tennessee said that he had actually been on Summer's case for a little while, and he asked me who are you trying to get polygraphed, because we polygraphed a witness in the case. Did they say a witness? We polygraphed a witness in the case, or someone in the case. So I remember hanging up and like texting Tammie and I think Benny, like, why? Okay, so I don't know why they said this, but it sounds like only one person got polygraphed.
hmm
Because why would they say just the one person if Dawn and Candace had, or unless they just don't know? But like, I don't know, because he's the one. He was like, I'm the one who did the polygraph for that one person, and I was like, oh. So I thought that was very interesting, and that person seemed very interested that Fred wanted a polygraph. So I thought that was interesting.
And if they did give Don a polygraph, if he said he wasn't there, why would they give him one?
I thought so, real ICU. Because remember, I had those conversations live with Don. Like, will you get a copy? If they charge you money, I'll pay for it. Like, get a copy. And he kept saying, okay, I'm going to get a copy. And then it never happened. Remember?
See, now
Yeah.
I think like me or you or somebody else could probably get a hold of it as long as you just give them some money or whatever.
Unless because it involves a minor and it might be sealed. I don't know.
Right. See, and that's another thing about like the 911 call. I'd like to hear that
Right.
because I heard there was 2 of them. And they're keeping the one sealed up or whatever. So I don't know.
So we might only hear that if court ever happens.
Right, right. Yeah, I was just wondering if there was a way that we could get some information, you know?
So we could like request
Yeah, yes.
stuff. I wonder.
Yeah.
They might not want to give it to any YouTubers, but maybe if you requested, Mary,
Right. Yeah.
And then
since
tell
I'm a
us
fam-
how much it costs, and we'll
Yeah, since I'm a
get you the
family
funds.
member, I'm wondering if they would release that to me.
That would be interesting. Yeah, we could definitely check it out.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then let
do
me
that.
know if they try to charge you anything for it.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds like a good plan. Heck yeah. Well, I did share the link, but no one wants to come up, and it's kind of getting late here. Mister wants to get ready for bed and go to work. But I've got another show lined up. I got to work all weekend now, so it's going to be probably Monday before I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people wanted me to go over this, and yeah, I'm glad you guys did. Thank you for suggesting it, because I'm glad that I re-listened back now with a fresh mind, you know. And because, like, yeah, they're both talking past tense. Don slipped up and used present tense and then went right back and corrected himself to past tense. So, like,
Yeah.
that to me is, like, settled in his mind that, you know, so interesting. Well, thank you guys for joining, Mary. Thank you for joining again. I'll definitely send the link for the next one as well, because it's interesting when we all get back to talking again. And yeah, let's check into the files and let us know what you need. If there's some kind of, if you can, they're like, yeah, sure, but give us $200. Let me know. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I think you hop on your channel and share the information.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, for sure.
Get with Chris McDonough too, probably.
Yeah, there was, I guess he's been real busy with that Nancy Guthrie case. But there's well, I'm not really going to say anything, but we're planning on doing a show together, so.
Oh, good.
That
Okay,
should
good.
be really interesting, because we've got a lot of good stuff to come up with, so.
Good.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
sounds good.
make sure you let us know, because
so.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to watch. And you guys,
Yeah.
Mary has a channel
Yep,
where she goes
yep,
over
yeah.
some really good recipes for some really good cocktails and really good food and snacks and all that. And we're gonna have Mary on. We're gonna do just a fun, laid back stream, and I don't know, have a glass of wine and auction off some quilts that Mary makes, because I tell you, I love mine very much. So it's on my bed right now. So yeah, we're gonna plan all that. So
Yeah,
That
they're
sounds
nice.
like fun.
Yep, it sounds really good. Okay,
Yeah.
Cheryl, well, thank you for letting me come up, and I will see you over probably Monday or so. Get a hold of me, and we'll do it again.
all right, sounds good. Thank you so much for joining.
Good night,
welcome.
Mary.
Good night, Tammie. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I will jump down, sis, and let you say good night.
Okay,
And
I'll
thank
be
you for-
bothering you tomorrow again.
Okay. Thank you for having me up. I appreciate it. Thank you very
Of
much.
course, thank you. Love you. Good night.
Love you. Good night, chat. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Well, you guys, that was another good one. I'm glad that we are going back. Yeah, it's very interesting. I can kind of see why Candace is wanting people to investigate her husband a little further. But then tonight, there's some things that, I'm not going to lie to you, Candace, kind of make me wonder, like, I kind of feel like, should I be on your ass again? Because, like, what? You were using past tense, too. I don't know. Well, y'all, we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you so much for being here tonight, keeping the chat. The chat was pretty good from what I saw. And I go back in the chats and I see, as you guys know, because that's how I ended up pulling this up today. I'm watching you guys. I see what you're asking for. So yeah, have a good rest of your night. And have a good weekend if I don't talk to you before then. I know there's a lot of other great lives and stuff going on, so I will be in the chat. So I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
I hear sadness in your voice. I'll feel the depth in your cries. The glimmer deep inside your soul shall lay waste to the darkened skies. You will never